Hello all, this is David from Sunward Hobbies, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to apply decals like a champ. So some of you watching may be asking, what's there to decals? You just dip it in water and slap it on your model. Okay, some of you may think that, but don't be surprised when you look back on your models several years later and all the decals are peeling away. So in today's video, I'm going to explain the step-by-step process on properly applying decals and making sure they stay put for a long time. Off camera, I had already done step one of the process, which is clear coating your model. I used what may or may not be a legal substance in Canada, so I'd rather not disclose what it was, but basically any gloss varnish will work. You can use an airbrush or a spray can. You just want to make sure that the surface of your model is smooth and shiny. This will help the decal adhere to the surface better. That is my test subject, a wing and a fuselage from an old Mustang kit. So importantly, you'll need decals. So we're just going to assume that this Mustang went back in time and somehow got captured by Imperial German air servicemen. Next you will need a cup of water. And this next part is very important. The rivet counters say so, so listen up. That water must be exactly 25 degrees Celsius or lukewarm. If it's not, then you are a failure at life and you do not deserve to be building models. Now that my date keeping is out of the way, let's begin. Some other things you will need are a hobby knife. This is to cut the decal off the sheet, or better yet, if you have a pair of small precision scissors, that would be best. Some tweezers to hold the decal. Some Decal Solutions, which I will explain these later in the video. A brush for applying the Decal solution onto the decal. And lastly, a Tamiya cotton swab to press the decal into place. That is basically everything you'll need to begin this process, so let's begin. Step one is cut out your decal. So I'm going to take out 2 tats and croises, and as you see, all decals are usually numbered. So there we go, we've got one big and one small one. So logically, the next step should be to just put the decal on, right? No, it is not. This is where our Decal Solutions come into play. So Decal Solutions come in one of 2 options. There is the what I call two-parters, which is a designated setter and softener. Or there is the 2-in-1, where it does, well, both in one process. So since I have a wing and a fuselage, I will show off both options, starting with Tamiya's Mark Fit. So this is a setter and softener all in one. Tamiya's Mark Fits come with a handy brush applicator attached to the cap. Now, Tamiya's Mark Fits tend to be a little stronger than other Decal solutions because Tamiya's decals are notoriously thick, so they need something special to help them along their way. So I'm going to apply some where the decal is going to go. And put that off to the side. And now we're going to bring in our cup of exactly 25 degrees Celsius water. Got my decal and just pop it in there. And these usually, depending on the size, take about 30 seconds. So I'm just going to quickly cut and then we'll get right back to putting this decal on. So it's been 30 seconds. I'm going to pull the decal out of there. As you can see, now it moves about quite easily. So now we can stick this onto our model. What I like to do is slip the decal off slightly from the sheet so that I can put it against the surface and just slide it off. Now what you're going to want to do is take your cotton swab and firmly, but not too rough, press that onto the surface. You want to use a rolling motion like this. One thing of note is if you're using a model kit with old decals in it, like I'd say a kit that's over 30, 40 years old, take very good care when applying Tamiya Mark Fit especially to the decals, as it can completely break them apart. So just keep that in mind. Okay, now that that's on there, we're going to take a little more of the Mark Fit and just apply that over top. And again, same process, rolling it firmly onto the surface with your cotton swab. Doing this not only gets it flush and firm onto the surface, but it also gets rid of any air bubbles that may be trapped underneath, as well as any small wrinkles as well. So that's how you use Mark Fit. Now I will show you how to use Microscale Decal Solutions. This is a two-parter, a setter and a softener. Microscale, sadly, their solutions do not have a brush applicator. So that's where that brush I mentioned earlier comes into effect. And essentially the same process here. Take some on your brush and apply it to the area where the decal will be going. Now, being that this is a two-parter, the setter acts as sort of like an adhesive for the decal, helps it stick on better. So while that's settling, I'm gonna take my Nets decal, put that in some water, and I'll quickly cut, and then we'll continue the process. Another helpful tip, the numbers on the decal sheet are also decals. So if we're going to take a drink while you're doing this, make sure you get rid of those numbers. All right, this decal is ready to come out. Again, same thing. Take it slightly off the sheet so it can just slide right on. You can tell this is an old model because the panel lines are raised. Brilliant. So again, like with Mark Fit, firmly roll over the decal. So that's pretty well on there. I'm going to give that a little bit of time to dry, and then I will show you part 2 of Microscale's Decal Solutions. So our decal is on there, and that's all fine and good, but we can make the decal look more realistic with the softener. And the softener does pretty much what it says. It softens the decal so that it will better conform to any lines or rivets that are on the surface of your model. So take some on your brush and apply it over the decal. and take your cotton swab again. And once again, press it on in a rolling motion. And all those totally realistic raised panel lines, you can see them peeking through underneath the decal. So now with your decals set in place, you're going to want to protect them. So you'll need a clear varnish. You can either use a spray can or put it through an airbrush, whatever you prefer. This will really seal those decals in and keep them on there essentially for life. And you would just use whichever finish you want, that being gloss, semi-gloss, or matte. In conclusion, those are the simple steps required to keep decals on your models intact forever. And I apologize to anybody I may have offended in this video by pronouncing it as decals and not decals. So you can find all the products I showcased at Sunward Hobbies in store or online. Thank you very much for watching this video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, follow us on our socials, and until the next one, adios. What's that?
Do you have no-name brand spray cans?
You want to know if we have no-name brand spray cans?
Yes!
Send us an email. We'll get right back to you.